Okay, in this video we are going to be looking at units and looking at the kind of units that we'll use in most science classes. And also our main thing is looking at converting from one SI prefix to another. So using the metric system basically to convert from one unit to the other. And you'll see that most of these basic 7 units here are, you can use the basic SI prefixes in order to convert them. So first off, measurements. We measure things like how tall, so distances. We measure how much something weighs. We measure how bright something is. We measure how many electrons are flowing through something. So anything that we can measure and count something in science is an important thing, because we can see if we do this, maybe something is heavier, or if we do something, it has an effect on a measurement. And so we can use measurements to determine the effects of some things in our experiments. Here, if we are measuring these types of measurements, these are the units that we use. So if we're measuring length, we use a meter, and the symbol is an M. If we are measuring how much something weighs, or a mass of something, we typically measure kilograms. We can measure grams, but kilograms is sort of the standard unit that we'll use. Time, seconds, electric current, we use amperes. Temperature, we use Kelvin instead of Celsius or Fahrenheit. Amount of something, rather than weighing that, we count how many molecules there are, and we measure that in moles. And how much intensity there is in the light, we use candles to measure that. And here's the units there. Be a good idea to memorize those. That'd be a good test question. Just to memorize what the name is and what the symbol and what the measurement is. You may want to take a minute and try that, and then here's just a blank one, and you can see if you can fill those in. If you want, press pause and see if you can think about each of those, and then I'll reveal the answers. Okay, hopefully you're getting the idea of when you measure this particular thing, we're using meters. We won't use yards or inches or centimeters, but I guess we could use centimeters, but for length, meters the standard symbol and the standard measurement for that. Now when we look at meters or kilograms or moles or candles, or not all of these, but many of these, we'll use the metric system. And even in more of these, when we look at pressure in pascals, or we look at other measurements, joules for energy, we can use any one of these metric system or SI units to help us give an idea of how big something is or how small something is. The base unit for any of these is right here in the middle. So a gram or a meter or a mole or a joule or any other kind of unit that we're using there, a candle, and any of those units are sort of the base unit. Anything that goes up from there to the left, these ones become larger units. So a kilogram is much larger than a gram. Actually, it's 1,000 times larger. Notice that each one of these bumps that you go from one unit to another is a factor of 10. And that's the beauty of the metric system, is that to convert from one unit to the other, it's always a factor of 10 every time. So there's 10 hectograms in 1 kilogram, 10 kilograms in whatever that unit's called, 10 of those into whatever that, and 10 of these into a megagram. Often we go from kilogram to gram to megagram, maybe down to milligram, down to microgram, and we're often jumping in threes. And so every time you jump by a factor of 3, that's actually 1,000, because that would be 3 tens. Now the same pattern works for grams, meters, moles, joules, candles. Like I said, it works for many of the measurements that we have, newtons. Many of the measurements that we'll have in sciences, we can use these metric systems to help. So we need to be able to convert from one to the other. Fairly easy, because it's a factor of 10. And if it's a factor of 10, our number system is based on tens. And so really a factor of 10 means 1 decimal place. So I can move my decimal place left or right just depending on how many units I need to transfer. So let's try a couple questions. So if I want to convert 10.3 kilograms to a certain number of grams, so kilograms is right here, and I want to go down to grams, which is right there. Here's just some simple instructions. And it says move the decimal the same number of places or units and the same direction. So if I'm starting here, I have to go down, don't count the one you're on, 1, 2, 3. I have to go down 3 units. Therefore, I need to move my decimal 3 places. So 1, 2, 3. And put my decimal there. Looks like I need to add 2 zeros in there. So I'll rewrite the numbers 10, 3, 0, 0, and my decimal point is at the end. I won't write it in, but that's where it's at. So 10.3 kilograms is the same thing as 10,300 grams. Let's try another one. So I have from grams to micrograms. Oh, I need my chart up top there. So grams to micrograms. So I'm at grams. Let's use a different color. So I'm starting here, and I got to get down to there. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I need to move my decimal 6 places. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2 more. 1, 2. So my answer would be 300 micrograms. So 0.0003 grams is the same thing as 300 micrograms. Here's one more. A milligram to a kilogram. Okay, let's go up. Milligram, new color. Milligram is here, and I need to go to, what was it? Kilograms. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6, and notice I'm going to the left, so I have to wind up there. So 6. So I'm starting here, so 6. So 1, oh, it's going to be 5 more zeros in front. So it'll be 0 point. Here's my 5 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 4, 3, 2, 4, 3. So this number, normal number, or I guess this is a milligrams, would be the same number as this many kilograms. Why don't you try a couple? Right there, try those, press pause, and then come back and press play and see if you got them right. Okay, the big reveal. Did you get them all right? Hopefully. Let's just do one. Micrometer to decimeter. Here's micro to deci would be, oh, these are all in grams. But you notice the meters are the same. Like this could be a meter, decimeter, or centimeter, millimeter, micrometer, etc. So the units are always the same. It's just these little things in here that depend on what you're measuring. If it's weight, you measure with kilograms. If you're measuring distance, it would be meters. Anyway, let's, I was going to do this one, right? Micrometer to decimeter. So micro starting here, decimeter would be there. So I'm starting here, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need 2 zeros. Yeah, I got that right. Okay, hopefully you got those right. If you have any questions on those, give your instructor a call. Also, try lots of questions. Become so you're very good, especially at these ones, like the gram, milligram, micro, kilogram, and megagram. And notice they're all up by factors of 3. Make sure you're very good at converting between those ones. Okay.